Hey there, and welcome to another live. Today we're going to talk about DIY, when to use it, and when not to. So, I am a DIY queen. I love to do it myself if there's any way possible. I guess that's maybe just the way I was raised. My mom's a DIYer, my dad's a DIYer. We just try to figure it out. I'm here to tell you, I'm not sure how I would have done it before YouTube because I'm a YouTube mechanic, a YouTube plumber, a YouTube electrician, and sometimes I mess it up. Sometimes my DIYs go bad. And here is one instance when my DIYs went bad. So at the beginning, like in the early spring, me and my boys decided that we were going to try to do a garden. So I have not a green thumb. I have a brown thumb. I kill everything, kill cactus, kill succulents. That is me. But it would be a fun project for the boys and I. So we planted a garden, which we're all set up to do so. We have these earth boxes. The lady that we bought this house from, she was she had the greenest thumb I ever knew. She could grow anything, she could make anything flourish, and her handiwork is still alive and well here all over our yard. But they wanted to plant some vegetables. They wanted to see it grow, just kind of it'd be a fun summer project for us. So we planted okra, love fresh okra. We planted peppers because they're just hotter whenever you plant them at home. And then we planted squash, zucchini, and butternut squash. Squash and zucchini are just staples around this joint. Butternut squash, I love butternut squash, love to roast it, and also cantaloupe. I personally think cantaloupe tastes like hairspray, but my son loves cantaloupe. It's his favorite. So we planted that. Some of those things went really well, but here is the biggest DIY fail. I think I got 2 squash and 2 zucchinis. No butternut squash at all. We got squash bugs. I saw these bugs come up, and I saw one and didn't think anything of it. And then I saw a couple, and I was like, well, what's this about? And so I kind of get to talking around and trying to find a way to manage these squash bugs. It didn't work. It did not work at all. I had to pull everything out and burn it. I did get to keep my okra and my peppers. And so we've got some of those still, but the rest of it I had to burn. So that was my most recent DIY gone bad. So here is what I wanted to talk about today. When to use DIY and when not to. So I think the first thing when you're deciding whether you're going to do it yourself is know yourself. Do you have the time? Do you have the capacity? It's a calculated risk because you may mess up. Is it okay if you mess up? Sometimes when you DIY, you wind up spending more time and money than if you would have gone to the expert. Sometimes, like, I spent a lot of money in water. I had this soaker hose. I mean, I was set up. All of those things I already had, but as far as like the water and the seeds and everything, I spent money on those and didn't get anything out of it. Like I said, 2 squash and 2 zucchini did not pay for those seeds and the time and the watering. It was an experience. I'm not gonna say it was a complete fail. It was an experience with the boys and something that was a learning process. But had that been something very important that I spent all that time and money on and didn't have any return, that would have been super irritating. I mean, it was irritating anyways because, well, squash bugs, I hate them. They're the new irritation for me. I'm figuring out how to manage them, and you just have to kill them. But had that been something more important, then I couldn't have afforded to spend that time and money and not have any return. So it's a calculated risk. Every time you're DIYing, it's a calculated risk. So knowing yourself, knowing if that calculated risk is something that you can take, knowing your own schedule, knowing what your capacity to do things is. Those are important things to know. So when not to DIY, when you don't have the time, maybe you have too many irons in the fire and you cannot DIY something else. You've got to pay somebody else to do it. Maybe you have no skill. Maybe you have tried something similar before and you're like, I'm gonna be real honest with myself. I don't have the skills to do that, and I'm just going to mess it up. So there's no sense in messing anything up. Also, if you have no desire and you try to DIY something, you're not going to become very good at it. You're not probably going to have very good results if you have no desire to do it. So, all of that being said, if you would like to try DIYing your finances, I want you to join me next week, next Friday at 10 a.m. Central Time. We are going to have a budgeting workshop, free budgeting workshop in my free Wives of Worth community. You can find the link in the bio. And maybe you've been trying to. Maybe budgets, you've tried to do budgets and you've tried to have spending plans and you've read the books and you've done the things and you're just exhausted trying to DIY this because it's flat not working. I also do one-on-one coaching. So if any of those are interest to you, there's links in my bio if you want some more information, or feel free just to message me. I love to visit with people who are interested in being more intentional with their finances, whether it's through DIY or through one-on-one coaching. So y'all have a wonderful Friday, a wonderful rest of the weekend, and I look forward to hearing from you.